Fonda is someone who took our class. She also is a great commercial coach. She was like top commercial booker 2009. She was on something like 14 national commercials. Created a postcard where she's holding a poster board. And what's great about this is she can either slap a sticker on this or she can take a Sharpie and write a note and just catch everybody up on whatever she's got going on and use these anytime. And so they're not going to expire. And since you are spending money every time you produce these things, it's a great idea to have some that are just evergreen that you can use whatever you got going on. This is a guy who booked an episode of Nip Tuck and went out and found the Nip Tuck billboard and then stood in front of it and then saturated this in Photoshop to look like it's actually the style, the visual style of the show, and sent this out. He basically inserted himself into the show. Yes, he had booked and he wanted to let us know that he had made that booking, but it's a great way to then sear himself in our brains as the kind of actor who can do a Ryan Murphy show. I love this one. This guy was in that iconic scene at the beginning of Iron Man where they're in the Funvee, not the humdrumby. And he asks if he can have his picture taken with Tony Stark, and he's like, sure. And he does this, and he goes, oh, no gang signs, haha, no, just kidding. I don't want to see this on MySpace, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that scene is very memorable, even though the role is very small. So he took the still from that and said, you know, Iron Man is now on DVD, but more importantly, I want you to see the headshot that's going to come across your desk or across your Actors Access submission or through a breakdown submission through the agent or manager or LA Casting or whatever casting workbook, wherever we are. Oh, and by the way, I'm still working. I'm not a one-trick pony. I actually am in theaters now or starting in May in Drag Me to Hell. But more importantly, now you know my headshot. So when you see this come across, I want you to remember this guy whose work you know, and this guy who continues to work. And he just mailed that straight through as a postcard. And then when I met the guy in person, I was like, your postcard freaking worked. I feel like I know you. Like, I obviously I already know your work, and now I know your headshot, and that's brilliant. Did his headshot work in that he got in front of me, had an audition, booked a job? No, but remember, the job of your headshot, the job of your marketing materials is to let us know you exist and to reinforce brand you. And it absolutely did its job in that respect. Same thing with this. Allison had booked a commercial that was really popular a few years back, and it was also very creepy because it was about this kid who had like a Duracell powered chip in his head, like LoJack. So if he went missing, she could find him. It's a very creepy commercial. But Allison, and commercials are very narrative these days. They're not so much, hi, I'm pitching your product. It's a story. And so because there's no IMDb for commercials, Allison took stills from that and then sent me a postcard and included her headshot so that when this headshot comes across, I go, oh, that's the girl from that creepy Duracell commercial. And then I feel like I know her work because I do, because I remember the creepy commercial. And it's not an accident that green is the color of her shirt and green is the text of her, or is the ink she used for her writing. There's green all through this. This font that she used for her name matches what's on her website. This is all in service of brand her. And you may look at that and go, oh my God, that's such a fuck ton of work. Yes, but once you've got that running in the background, you never have to think about it again. You don't have to spend your life worried about how your materials look, or are they in service to my brand, or are they convincing people I'm not what I say I am? Are they confusing people? Because once you've run everything through the brand filter and it's all in service of who you are and what you're putting out in the world, you don't have to stress about it, and that's actually quite lovely. This is an actor who works all the time. Okay, so he includes all these other famous people in his postcard. But the punchline here is, what do all these great actors have in common? They all worked with me. Boom. Brilliant. With one exception. The post office likes to put little track marks across your mailings, and under this, if you pick up this little sticker, is his contact information. So you don't want to assume that someone's going to go to the trouble to lift up the sticker to find out how to contact you. But again, you're not counting on this being anything more than a reminder of what you do and who you are and that you're available. You're not actually hoping for immediate action on that, but I freaking love this. Um, I have a couple more examples, and again, this is going to be another one of those long vids, and I still have more stuff to do. So, guys, this week, whoo, good on you getting through this stuff. I'm a big fan of the postcard being mailed as headshot. Actors spend a lot of money packaging their headshot and resume and cover letter into an envelope, putting a cardboard stiffener, taping down the flap because they say don't seal it with the metal clasp or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And by the time it's done, they've spent so much money on this when all you have to do is shrink down your resume to a short form. You can do this in Microsoft Word and do it within a Word template that turns it sideways, and you can run this headshot straight through your printer, depending on what kind of printer you've got. If it's a laser printer and this is a reproductions or litho that's of a certain kind of photographic quality, it could melt on the drum. So be really sure before you run it through your printer. I'd hate for you to like screw up your printer doing this. But if you've got, like in his case, it's I think an inkjet printer that he ran this through, no problem. Goes through, mails it just like this as a postcard, writes a little note on there. And yeah, this is someone who was in our class, which is where he learned this tactic, because I brought in one that came from an actor I've never met before who sent hers, and she uses her horizontal headshot and does the horizontal on the vertical, which is a wonderful way to present your horizontal headshot without printing it horizontally. And she includes a sticker that shows what she's got going on now and her resume and then the mailing information, and it goes straight through the mail. So when I showed this off in class, then Phil did his and mailed it to me, so that I could see that he had taken what I had taught and ran with it. And I think that actually is a really good light bulb moment that I'm having right this second about how we will use the last week of targeting. Again, I hope I don't go over an hour in these videos. I keep trying to keep it sane, but I keep rambling. There's just too much good stuff. I told you guys I love this segment a lot. I hope you're enjoying it too, and I hope your head's not exploding to the point that you can't get it back. All right.